Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's the fakest woman on the planet. That's why all these rumors come out and all these conspiracy theories start to come to light, and why people are really skeptical of her, because anything that comes out of her mouth, anything she does, doesn't have authenticity and really lacks legitimacy.
Into overdrive with their firm belief that non-mother Meg was never pregnant, and the childless Sussexes continue to subject the world to an extraordinary hoax. Guided dance film is hard evidence that the manipulative Ms. Markle used prosthetic moon bumps to fabricate both of her phantom pregnancies. Certainly, that improbably huge, low-slung baby belly looked kind of odd.
Everything began when royal nurse Elizabeth Manning, who once worked at St. Mary's Hospital, where royal women have given birth for decades, officially broke her silence. "I was there, and I know Meghan was never pregnant. That night, there was not a single cry of a baby, and I've been wondering who Archie really is all this time." Elizabeth's words hit like an explosion through the carefully constructed facade Meghan had built during her so-called mysterious pregnancy. At the lavish Montecito mansion, Meghan reportedly went into a fury when news of the twerking in the delivery room video resurfaced and spread like wildfire. An insider revealed she slammed her phone on the table, screamed that this was humiliating, and threatened to sue anyone who dared share the video. Meghan immediately instructed her media team to scrub all traces and even sent hush money to Nurse Elizabeth in the UK. But no matter how much money she burns to cover things up, the world is watching and condemning. Now the question is no longer, is Meghan hiding something, but how deeply have we been deceived? Child labor exploitation. Meghan Markle is no longer the protective mother she promised to be when she left the royal family. She is now the lead director of a cold-blooded media campaign where Archie and Lilet are not cherished souls, but strategic props, cropped, blurred, hidden, and posted online precisely when needed to boost a brand. Their images aren't about privacy, they're about devouring the truth. At a local farmers market in Montecito, where celebrities pretend to live normal lives, Meghan claimed her children were learning the value of labor by selling jam. Glass jars bearing the brand American Riviera Orchard were staged as a wholesome family activity. Picture this: Archie and Lilet, curly-haired and rosy-cheeked, chirping behind a jam stand, handing apricot jars to strangers, and smiling when a few dollar bills are pressed into their little hands. Nearby Meghan, in a flawless, wrinkle-free cashmere sweater, hair gently curled, like she just stepped out of a Goop commercial, watches lovingly from afar, and of course, strategically. This is Hollywood, wearing a Montecito mask, where every family photo can become a PR campaign if you choose the right angle and perfect timing. Immediately, the global media buzzed. Headlines read like they were copied straight from a PR playbook. Meghan teaches her kids the value of work. Archie and Lilet sell jam like regular kids. Royal family goes simple at country market. It was too polished, too perfect, too sweet to be real. And from there, a new question began to whisper across social media. Did anyone actually see those children at the market? Or was it just a staged scene to boost a brand? Let's be blunt. This is child labor wrapped in Instagram filters. Archie and Lilet are not being protected. They are being paraded before the public in the most dangerous way, not as their real selves, but as warped, idealized versions used for commercial gain. While the mother stays behind the camera, she's not selling jam, she's selling the American dream. The image of a devoted mother to market luxury fashion, an expensive lifestyle, and a media empire wrapped in a silky lie. Recently, Meghan exposed more of her true nature. She posted a rare photo with her children on her personal page and the brand's website. As ever, she stands in a garden holding Archie and Lilet, but as always, their faces are obscured or turned away. No one can verify who they are, how old they are, or if they're even really present. Below the photo is a seemingly sweet caption. Every day is a love story with a white dove emoji. But what kind of love aligns perfectly with the launch of a commercial platform? Because exactly 1 hour later, Meghan officially launched ShopMy, an affiliate platform, promoting fashion items, where experts estimate she could earn millions in commission. That act not only exposed a cold commercial intention, but also revealed how she uses her children's images as emotional bait to pave the way for each product drop. Today, it's jam. Tomorrow, it's shoes, handbags, lipstick, coats, all wrapped in the image of the most lovable mum in Montecito. Nothing Meghan does is accidental. She doesn't post pictures of her children out of longing or maternal joy. She posts them at the right moment, at the right hour, with carefully vetted captions, just before each commercial launch. It's a finely tuned formula. To exploit public emotion, use children as symbols of kindness, and pick consumers' pockets in the next breath. And if you pause to think, this is more terrifying than child labor. Meghan is not just exploiting Archie and Lilet's time and energy, she is exploiting their very existence. She uses the royal child title to attract attention, but never shows their faces. She tells stories about them as if they're magical mascots in a modern fairy tale, while every word, every image is calculated for one goal: money and fame. No godparents, no baptism photos, no candid videos, no public birthday wishes from family or hospitals. But there is a love story posted right at the hour of a commercial link going live. That's not modern motherhood. That's a cold-blooded entrepreneur disguised in maternal affection. And those two children, whether real, visible or not, are being consumed every day under the glossy coat of a brand they never chose to build. It's heartbreaking to realize if a child is not allowed to be themselves, not allowed a private life, but only exists as an emotional hook in their mother's marketing strategy. That's not parenting. That's exploitation. And Meghan Markle is doing it every day with a radiant smile, with words of love, and with a product link right underneath. 2. The nurse's confession, and then a shocking development. A royal nurse who once served at St. Mary's Hospital, where royal princesses have given birth for decades, officially broke her silence. Elizabeth Manning had never intended to speak. For years, the veteran obstetrics nurse at St. Mary's remained quiet, not out of fear of Meghan Markle, but out of hope. Hope that perhaps this was all a misunderstanding, that Archie and Lilet would eventually be allowed to live normal childhoods, not be turned into media props. But the final straw came when she saw Meghan's latest image, standing in a blooming garden, holding two children, with their faces completely obscured, and then just 1 hour later, launching the ShopMy website to rake in millions in fashion affiliate commissions. That's when I realized she said, her voice firm, that this wasn't about a loving mother. This was a campaign of child exploitation. As someone who had witnessed countless real royal births, she could no longer stay silent. I have to speak the truth for those children being turned into living props. Elizabeth Manning is an obstetric nurse who served for 27 years at St. Mary's Hospital in the Lindo Wing. The same place Princess Diana, Kate Middleton, and many other royals gave birth. She had never spoken out. But now, with Meghan Markle's PR stunts becoming more frequent and shameless, she chose to rise. I was on duty the day Meghan claimed to have given birth to Archie. We prepared everything to royal protocol. The maternity ward sealed royal physicians on standby. Security tightened by the hour, Elizabeth recounted. We waited, minute by minute, hour by hour, but no one came. Meghan and Harry were nowhere to be seen. Not a single car entered the emergency zone. She paused and pulled from her old coat a blacked-out photocopy of a document. This is the duty roster from that day. My name, the head nurse's name, and the wing I was assigned to Lindo, Wing Room 3C. No birth was recorded under Meghan Markle. According to her, the next morning, the hospital received an internal notice. A royal family member has delivered a healthy baby yesterday. Information to be managed by Palace Media. No doctor's name, no assisting nurse, no records to verify. We were stunned. Everyone knew something had been hidden or worse, staged, but back then everyone was scared. Touching Meghan was like touching a global PR machine. And for some reason, the palace stayed suspiciously silent. Her voice dropped. I used to think if Meghan was truly pregnant, she wouldn't have needed to hide so much. She wouldn't have needed to use her child as a prop. She wouldn't have needed to dangle every photo like bait just to trade for clicks and commission. Elizabeth went on to share a chilling detail. A colleague once told me Meghan had privately asked a doctor about Hollywood-style silicone pregnancy bellies, the kind used for actresses. We thought it was just curiosity. But looking back, I realize how naive we were. She said no obstetrician at the hospital had ever physically examined Meghan throughout her alleged pregnancy. She didn't even register a prenatal file. For a normal citizen, that's impossible. For a duchess, that's alarmingly irregular. According to Elizabeth, Meghan's baby bump was nothing more than a prop, a silicone belly, molded to resemble pregnancy, carefully strapped beneath luxurious maternity gowns, every fold crafted to deceive the eye. I knew something was off the moment I stepped into the room, Elizabeth recalled. The tension was palpable. Everyone acted like they were guarding a massive secret following a pre-written script. When asked what pushed her to speak up, now Elizabeth didn't hesitate. Because I'm afraid that one day, Archie and Lilet will grow up and ask, are we even real? Were we just part of our mother's product line for selling perfume, jam, and cashmere sweaters? I can't stay silent and let them grow up in a world where their very existence is in question. Elizabeth has now submitted her full testimony to a group of international human rights lawyers. They are examining whether Meghan has violated media ethics, exploited child imagery, and deceived the public. When a mother can sell her own child as part of a brand strategy, we're not just talking about wrongdoing. We're witnessing a moral disaster. And I, as a nurse, a grandmother, and a citizen, can no longer be complicit in this. What's more alarming is that following Elizabeth Manning's confession, the familiar royal obstetricians, the doctors long associated with royal births, suddenly vanished without a trace. In their place, unfamiliar figures appeared wearing blank name tags, speaking sparsely, maintaining an eerie silence, and bearing job titles too vague to be credible. The nurse's confession dropped like a bombshell, striking right at the heart of longtime royal watchers, those often dismissed as conspiracy theorists for questioning Meghan. Now they feel vindicated. The folded baby bump, the mysteriously altered birth dates, no hospital announcement, and the most shocking scene of all, Meghan's pregnant belly flopping awkwardly under her coat, shattering what little belief remained in a real baby's birth. Meghan's defenders fired back instantly. They called the nurse's words ridiculous media abuse. But critics only chuckled and asked, if it's so ridiculous, why does it sound so plausible? Because if the nurse is telling the truth, if Meghan was never truly pregnant, then who was, and what exactly has the public been deceived into believing beneath the dazzling shell of a royal love story? The details now seem darker than ever. Numerous former staff accusing Meghan of bullying, no one lasting long around her from London to Montecito. She's obsessed with her image. She controls every camera, every appearance, staged like an endless performance. 3. The irrefutable evidence. Over time, countless pieces of evidence have been unearthed by netizens to support the theory that Meghan faked her pregnancy. Let's revisit the 5 most credible ones. First, Meghan's body during her alleged pregnancy displayed too many inconsistencies. Let's rewind to 2018 to 2019, when Meghan announced she was expecting Archie. At public events, her baby bump changed shape in ways that defied physiological logic. On January 16, 2019, Meghan appeared with a large round belly while visiting the headquarters of the Mayhew charity. But just 1 week later, at a fashion presentation in London, her bump had visibly shrunk and her waistline appeared as narrow as if she had never been pregnant. The media, blind, with open eyes, simply published the photos without daring to ask, how can a 7-month baby bump inflate and deflate like a balloon? A particularly shocking video clip once went viral. Meghan, bending down to tie her shoelaces during her 6th month of pregnancy, completely folding at the waist with no tension, no gasping, no signs of discomfort. In a position that most expectant mothers avoid like fire, Meghan moved effortlessly, like a yoga model. So what was that bump made of, flesh or silicone? Even more disturbing, a clip of Meghan stepping into a car while wearing a tight blue dress was analyzed frame by frame. As she stepped up, the edge of an artificial pregnancy belly was clearly visible beneath her dress, identical to the moon bump products sold on Amazon. And the most damning moment, the bump slid unnaturally low as she moved a motion impossible for a real fetus inside a womb. Not just casual viewers, but mothers who have actually given birth were outraged. We know what pregnancy feels like, and Meghan was not pregnant. Numerous image experts and costume designers also spoke out. They pointed out that Meghan's belly had an unusually pointed shape, protruding sharply, unlike the soft, round, natural form of a real baby bump. Furthermore, the bump's size changed drastically between appearances, sometimes only 48 hours apart, something medically implausible. These signs all suggest Meghan may have used a fake pregnancy belly, a theatrical prop carefully crafted to deceive the media and the public. Next comes an even more alarming detail: the total absence of official medical records or a publicly acknowledged doctor. When Princess Kate gave birth to her 3 children, the royal family always disclosed. The hospital-involved royal physicians confirmed the births, and birth certificates were released. But with Meghan, no doctor's name, no hospital photos, no confirmation from any medical professionals. Only the words of Meghan and Harry, giving birth in the 21st century under hundreds of watching lenses, yet offering no medical proof whatsoever. That's a glaring hole for a royal figure. And the strangeness didn't stop there. In 2025, Meghan released a video titled "Dancing in the Delivery Room." She and Harry joking around twerking in the delivery room like they were filming a music video. In the clip, Meghan wore a hospital gown. Her hair perfectly curled, lips painted bright red, standing center stage in the delivery room, smiling, twerking, swaying her hips to hip-hop music with her husband. The video was shot like a music video with studio lighting, no IV lines, no medical equipment, no doctors, no delivery bed, and most notably, no signs of Meghan being in labor. No woman, mid-contraction, could possibly twerk like that unless it wasn't real labor at all. Instead of adding authenticity, the video sent the internet into a frenzy of suspicion. OB/GYN professionals responded immediately. Many posted on specialist forums, "No real delivery room looks like that. This is a stage, not a real birthing suite." A doctor from King's College Hospital commented sharply, "I've delivered over 300 babies. I've never seen anyone about to give birth still able to twerk and smile like they're in a lipstick commercial." The next bizarre twist: the inexplicable silence from the British royal family. No public congratulations from the Queen while she was alive. No official statements from the palace regarding Meghan's pregnancy or the births. Even after Archie and Lilet were born, key royal figures like Prince William, Princess Kate, or King Charles made no mention whatsoever. Royal media traditionally controls the narrative. So why the total radio silence? Could it be that they know more than the public is allowed to? But the palace didn't stop at silence. They broke royal protocol in a shocking way. No traditional christenings were held for the children. This is a mandatory rite for all royal offspring held in a church with godparents publicly named and official photographs archived in history. But for Archie and Lilet, no baptism photos, no godparent list, no formal statement from the Church of England. All we had were Meghan and Harry's own words. For the royal family, that's not just odd, it's unprecedented. When all the puzzle pieces are put together, an anatomically implausible body, shady medical records, a bizarrely staged video, royal silence, and the erasure of sacred rituals, the full picture becomes ever clearer. This is no longer about a few scattered oddities. This is a chain of illogical, untraditional, and unreal events. So much so that even neutral observers have to ask, what is really going on here? 4. Do Archie and Lilet actually exist? Amid the storm of suspicion surrounding the Harry-Meghan household, two major conspiracy theories are currently shaking public opinion. First, Meghan used a surrogate to fabricate the heirs of Sussex. In the first scenario, Meghan hired a surrogate mother, triggered by a series of bizarre signs throughout her initial pregnancy. A belly that deflated and inflated, a video of her bending at a 90-degree angle without the baby bump getting in the way, and especially the twerking in the delivery room clip where her stomach wobbled like a stage prop. All these have fueled doubts Meghan was never pregnant. The pregnancy imagery was just a makeshift stage designed to build the reputation of a mother who broke free from royal control, a feminist icon, manufactured and distributed like a media product. The surrogate mother was never identified. No medical records exist, and no doctor has confirmed anything. This completely contradicts all of the British monarchy's principles regarding succession. For a child to be in line for the throne, there must be a valid birth certificate confirmation by royal doctors and a clear public record. But with Archie and Lilet, None of that exists. Every detail is wrapped in strange ambiguity to the point that many believe the surrogate-born child was never handed over, or worse, was just a backup plan who vanished from Meghan's life. The second theory being pushed by the public is that the two children don't exist at all. It sounds extreme, but it's oddly convincing, due to their puzzling absence. Since birth, Archie and Lilet have never once appeared publicly with clearly visible faces. No traditional christenings, no official family portraits, no public moments detailed enough to prove their real existence. People joke, but it's a deeply suggestive joke, that we've seen the Yeti and the Loch Ness Monster more clearly than Meghan's children. In the Netflix docuseries marketed as the most authentic and private ever, the children appear only in blurry, evasive shots. A foot the back of a neck, a shadow cast through a curtain. These images seem edited, with AI cleverly stitched together, and never reveal a clearly identifiable face in the same frame as Harry or Meghan. One professional image analyst wrote, "I checked the lighting angle's reflections, and there are frames where the child may not have even been physically present at the time of filming." These two children are claimed to be the son and daughter of a duke and duchess. Two names added to the line of succession, two royal futures outlined on paper but wrapped in the shadows of unverified tales. No clear images, no public moments like those shared by Princess Diana or Kate. The exhausted smile on hospital steps, baby in arms, camera flashes, exploding. What the public got instead were blurred snapshots and grainy videos. It's a replacement, a setup meant to obscure the truth, or worse, to fully replace it. And then Meghan always responds with her go-to shield. We want to protect our children's privacy, but the public isn't stupid. In an era when even the most reserved celebrities like Adele or Scarlett Johansson share glimpses of their children growing up, Meghan's excessive, absolute privacy becomes an unmistakable red flag. The unavoidable question arises, if Meghan truly gave birth to two children, if they are biologically Harry's, why? The secrecy. Why not release even a minimum piece of evidence to end the controversy? And if they can't, doesn't that very silence speak for the truth? The second theory, that the children don't exist at all, becomes even more plausible when viewed through the lens of Meghan's media strategy. Every time a scandal erupts or Meghan is accused of lying, the happy family images are rolled out like a shield. A hug in a rose garden, a blurry shot of Harry holding a child at sunset, a video with a child's laughter, yet always avoiding the face. The children become tools, and perhaps just a product of rendering software. Whatever the truth may be, these two conspiracy theories are no longer just fringe internet rumors. They've grown into a quiet wave of investigation, with hundreds of thousands of people digging through data, analyzing photos, comparing timelines, and even checking the metadata of videos. They're no longer asking, is it true? But rather, when will the truth be exposed? If Meghan once believed she could use media to craft the image of a model family, that very tool is now turning against her every pixel, every frame, every misleading second. And the role of inspirational mother is slowly mutating into what may become the greatest deception scandal in modern royal entertainment history. The nightmare life of Meghan. Meghan's life now resembles a never-ending nightmare. Montecito, once a symbol of luxury, power and freedom for Meghan Markle, has become a gilded cage locking in a frantic bird exhausted by the world. The golden days of the American Duchess are over. In their place stands a weary, bitter, and desperate Meghan. Trapped in a media battlefield, she ignited herself. Since the release of videos and analysis suggesting she faked her pregnancy belly, Meghan has reportedly fallen into extreme panic. A former employee from the Montecito mansion revealed that Meghan screamed, slammed tables, demanded to wipe the internet clean, and hired a team of digital media technicians costing tens of thousands of dollars a week only to take down videos showing the slipping bump and to delete Reddit, YouTube, and X posts exposing signs of a prosthetic pregnancy belly. She even contacted YouTube and Google multiple times in a desperate attempt to remove countless videos created by independent investigators, but things spiraled out of control. The more she tried to delete, the more copies appeared. Content removed in one place sprang back up elsewhere. Faster, sharper, drawing millions of views, hundreds of thousands of comments. She never gave birth. A fatal blow came from a nurse named Elizabeth at the Royal Hospital, who revealed in a private group that there was no birth record under the name Meghan Markle or Rachel Meghan Markle at the time. She claimed to have given birth to Archie. Soon after, a trusted PR source in Los Angeles claimed Meghan had someone approach the nurse, offering a large sum to stay silent or to correct the statement. But the nurse refused, stating firmly, "I don't trade truth for money, not from the Duchess of America or anyone else." The negotiation failed, and Meghan's crisis escalated uncontrollably. The more Meghan tried to contain it, the more aggressively the media responded. Investigative journalists across the UK, Australia, and the US reopened image and video analysis, from the mysteriously shifting belly, the unencumbered 90-degree bend, to the infamous delivery room twerk, all forming a blatant tapestry of deception, intricately staged, yet devoid of truth. Meghan Markle's isolation is no longer just a rumor. It is vividly real, day by day, hour by hour. Once praised as the icon of modern feminism, surrounded by the most powerful faces in Hollywood, Meghan now faces a chilling wave of abandonment. Oprah Winfrey, who once gave her and Harry a history-redefining interview, is now completely silent. No defense, not even a mention. For Oprah, the name Meghan Markle is now a burning stone no one wants to touch. Tyler Perry, who once opened his multi-million-dollar mansion to shelter the ousted royal couple, has reportedly cut all contact, according to a former assistant. He feels betrayed, the source revealed, for helping them escape the palace, only to be dragged into a fabricated scandal. At the same time, former best friend Serena Williams has also quietly stepped back. Once inseparable at public events, Serena no longer appears with Meghan, makes no comments, and has ceased interaction, despite previously calling Meghan her soul sister. And the most devastating blow came from the very industry that once elevated Meghan post-royalty Netflix. The producers behind the documentary series Harry and Meghan are now reconsidering any future projects following suspicions they were fed misleading information and manipulated into presenting a dishonest image. One internal creative director bluntly stated, "We were turned into background actors for a disguised PR campaign." The list of supporters is collapsing like dominoes. Ellen DeGeneres, who once dedicated an entire show to a cozy chat with Meghan, no longer invites her. Amal Clooney, once a high-profile guest at the royal wedding, is no longer seen at any event with her, despite living nearby in California. Hollywood is sending a chilling message: Meghan is no longer a card worth playing. In the luxurious Montecito mansion, with its gilded hallways and gardens, blooming with 100 species of flowers, Meghan now lives in paranoia. She frequently changes assistants, demands all staff sign the highest level NDAs, and installs dense camera systems just to prevent any insider leaks. But this only reflects one reality: she no longer controls anyone or anything. And then every time a seemingly happy moment is posted online, a photo with her children, a clip of laughter in a rose garden, the internet community dissects every detail. That child doesn't look biologically related. Why is there no hospital-verified birth footage? Where are the godparents? Where's the traditional baptism? Meghan wanted to turn her life into an epic, the Cinderella, who fought back, escaped the royal family, became a mother, became a feminist icon. But the story has turned into a modern tragedy, where meticulously constructed lies collapse due to overlooked details, and the stubborn truth rises no matter how hard it's buried. Now the glass walls of Montecito no longer shelter Meghan. They've become theatre screens, where the world watches every move of a protagonist unraveling. And Meghan's life, from actress to royalty, has shifted from fairy tale to tragicomedy, where every smile might just be evidence. For years, Meghan Markle walked a thin line between Hollywood and the British monarchy. She cast herself as the underdog, overcoming archaic systems, the devoted mother of a new generation, the modern face of feminism. But when truth is twisted to serve an image, when the sacred role of motherhood becomes a media prop, we are forced to ask how much of that perfect family is real, how much is fake. If Archie and Lilet exist only on paper in blurry photos, then what role is Meghan playing in this performance? Share your thoughts with us below. Stay tuned as we continue peeling back the layers of power, scrutinizing every detail, every image, every narrative. If you found this article worth pondering, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a comment, because the next piece of truth may lie in your perspective. Thank you for staying with us to the end.